Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of GameStack Podcast, right here on We Just Love Games Network. This is episode 122, Gone with the Wendigo. I am your co-host, Vendertron. Also joining me this evening is Shalene. Hello, Shalene.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing. That's a very dad response, I guess. That's like suddenly I'm like 45-year-old dad.
What?
Um,
My dear?
yeah, I just feel like that was a very dad response.
How are you doing, my dear?
Yeah. No, I said I'm doing.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm okay.
okay.
It wasn't as much of a week as it usually is for me, so that was good.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
okay.
So yeah,
Well,
okay.
excellent. Um, It's been a week for me. I am off to Vancouver Island tomorrow morning, so that will be fun.
Ooh.
Yes, looking forward to getting away and seeing the ocean. That will be very nice, very nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Expect you to take lots of pictures.
Yes, I will take lots of pictures. And we're going to be doing some hiking. We're going to go to this inlet called Port Renfrew, which is very beautiful. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Google Port Renfrew, Renfrew.
Okay.
Um, if you are coming in, happy Friday to you. Make yourselves comfortable. Shalene and I have a wonderful, chill episode of GameStack Podcast for you this evening. And the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee. I can never, ever do this right. I never do it right. Every single time, there is always a speech flutter.
It's okay. You're doing great.
Let's take it from the top.
We believe in you.
The show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every bag goes to the Children's Miracle Network.
Yay!
Don't forget you can host us as well if you're listening live, /host and We Just Love Games in your own chat on your Twitch page. Tell your friends about the show. Follow our channel by heading over to twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And don't forget, if you listen to anything or if you hear anything that we're talking about tonight that you would like to respond to and you would like us to read it and maybe discuss it on the show, you can always send us an email at info@wejustlovegames.com. But wait, there's more. We have Discord people. Shalene, who do we have in the Discord?
Yes, new to the Discord this week, we have Mr. G Rocks, who of course is the fabulous Stephen Wesley Giles, who was on the show last week. So love him. Glad to see him on the show. It was a really fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And glad to see him hopping in our Discord. So welcome, Mr. G. If you would also like to join our Discord, just like Mr. G did, you can do so by clicking the link on our Twitch page at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. That link is there whether or not the channel is live. So we hope you'll go there and just join the Discord and hang out with us. Alternately, if you just have a horrible aversion to Twitch and you refuse to visit the website, send us a message on social media. We'll send you an invite.
Yes, that is definitely true. Discord's been pretty active this week. I recently discovered the Show Stack channel, which I had muted for a really long time because I often mute channels that I don't visit very often, as you do. But I started watching Third Rock from the Sun again.
Yes.
So good.
I remember that
good.
show. That was the one where they used to sit on the roof, right?
Yeah, yeah. And they were all aliens.
Yeah.
Very, very good show. I forgot how amazingly talented John Lithgow is. He's just so good.
Yeah, his comedic timing is wonderful.
Oh, it's brilliant. He's brilliant. But we do have a show for you tonight. We are going to talk about some news. We're going to walk you through some of the stocks and what's going on in the market. We do have a streamer spotlight this evening. And also we're going to talk about our backlog of screenshots and stories that we had to put on hiatus in the last episode of GameStack. And then Shalene and I are going to cap things off with our gameplay from the week. But this just in. What do you got for me, Shalene?
As always, shout out to Joseph Tao. Thank you so much for helping us put together the news every week. We are going to open up with some Sea of Thieves news. We've got
Oh.
some information about season 7. And Vendor, I thought season 7 had already started. I'm really upset with myself because season 6, of course, had the beautiful cherry blossom, amazing cosmetics that I fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I had missed my shot at getting these. But no, it's still going on, and I was just not working towards it. And how dare I? But I thought you might like to sort of lead us through this section of the show about Sea of Thieves because you tend to be a little more in
Well,
the
you
know
know
than I
what?
do.
I'm actually completely out of the loop this time around. I've been so busy
Ooh.
that I haven't had time to play Sea of Thieves, let alone any other games. I was house sitting for the last week, and then before then, I was addicted to Satisfactory. And, when you finish out your season in Sea of Thieves, what more can you do?
Help your friends. That's what.
So, yeah, but you know what? We do have the trailer. It's 1 minute 54 seconds. Do you want to check it out, Shalene?
I do. I
Okay,
really do.
let's hop into it.
We brought updates that were free to those who sailed the sea, though there's always more potential within. And as this song will spell out, there's plenty to sing about. Now that
So we've
you
also
can
got a
finally
face
be
reveal
a
for the voice of the
captain.
trailer.
Can you imagine?
This guy is always the voice for the Sea of Thieves trailers, and now we get to see what he looks like. So that's fun.
Oh, I never noticed.
Yeah.
Owning your own ship, decorated with what you acquire. Then to satisfy your vanity, as long as there's no profanity, you can name it just how you desire. Oh, to set sail as a pirate captain, there's boatloads of new features we proclaim. Oh, to set sail as a pirate captain, that's why we really think that you should play this game.
And it's available with Xbox Game Pass, of course.
Oh, to set sail as a pirate captain, adventure will come knocking on your door. Oh, to set sail as a pirate captain, and you'll be amazed at what we have in store. The choice is yours, whatever captain you may be. Whether that's gold looting, no-scope shooting, robo racing, or embracing, everybody's welcome in this game. So come set sail as a pirate captain. Our time is almost up, so as we leave, if you want to be a pirate captain, come do it in season 7 of Sea of Thieves.
Brilliant.
That was so good. I really enjoyed that.
So, what do you think?
I am really excited about some of these features that they're sort of teasing with this. So this pirate captain thing is going to give us the ability to customize and decorate the captain's cabin, which will be fun times. I do enjoy decorating my spaces. And my favorite part is something that I've been looking for and wanting for a long, long time in this game, the ability to name our ship. I've always wanted to name the ship. It bothered me that there was just that blank plank up there.
My question
So-
is it only on the galleon?
No, it has to be on all the ships.
Because there's no placard on the brig or
Then
the
they're going to
sloop.
have to add one. They're just going to have
Perhaps
to
on
add
the
one.
back?
Yeah,
On the back of it?
I don't know.
I would expect there to be also a placard on the back of every ship,
Mm-hmm.
since that's like tradition.
And I really like that we're going to be able to save ship decoration loadouts. So if there is a particular customization set you
Huge.
like, you can save that. And
Mhm.
when you log on, you don't have to decorate your ship again if you don't want to. So to me, that's a huge deal. That's something that I feel should have been in the game since launch. It's something I've always wanted. I'm very, very happy about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yes. There will be some special captain's voyages. I don't know what that will entail just yet, but I mean, we're always up for more content and more ways to earn loot and engage in shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You can play as captain or crew, and I wonder what are going to be the benefits of being crew.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if designated captain status is activated by the person who names the boat.
I don't know. Maybe everybody has to vote on who's the captain.
Maybe.
We'll have
Oh,
to
new
see.
mutinies. I wonder if that also gives perks like only the captain can access the wheel or
Oh, that would be terrible. What if you have
like
to
that.
go to the bathroom or something? And then we get krakened and I can't touch the wheel because I'm not the captain.
Maybe that's not a thing. Maybe that's
I'm
not
having a panic attack, Fender. Oh, this is terrible. Easily sell your loot to the sovereigns. I'm not sure what that means. Who are the sovereigns?
Sovereign sounds like a new faction. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Chronicle your journey in the captain's log. Start date 2887.
Oh man.
I can't wait. It's so good. And choose your path with different play styles. That's also a little bit vague. So we don't know exactly what that is going to mean, but I am very excited about some of these features and looking forward to finding out what the others mean. And more importantly, I am excited about having a few more days, a couple of weeks, in which I can try and finish earning the cherry blossom floral set for my ships. What are your thoughts?
Well, first I think it's I think we should acknowledge the trailer. Very well done.
It was a good trailer. It was a very good trailer.
And this is a new type of creativeness that we've seen from Rare development team. It was very much more like musical style, sort of singing, and it had very much, Muppet Treasure Island feel to it.
Yes, very Muppet Treasure Island vibes.
Yeah. It was very happy. All of the previous trailers that we have seen start out with the one Scottish guy, the developer, one of the Scottish, what is this? Who is he? I
don't remember his name.
He's like the executive of marketing or something.
You're talking about the dreamy guy, right?
Yes, the dreamy Scottish guy.
The dreamy guy.
He's always the one to sort of voice over all of the, and if you think that that's not enough, we've got more for you, blah 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 blah, and he goes into other things. But this was totally different. It was through song and dance, completely different. So tricky, because there's a lot more you can miss there, because they're not necessarily explaining the trailer, they're creatively displaying it to you in a way that is just more happy and engaging. So
fun.
Yeah,
so fun.
I'm not sure what on their roadmap they have said for season 7, new ways to play and progress. I wonder what that means. I would imagine it's just going to be this smattering of slight changes to the game itself that people have wanted since launch. So at least they're doing it at all. There's so many video games out there where people just, that the game is developed and people are like, this would be so amazing, and then it just never gets added. So yeah.
And when does season 7 start, Thunder?
July 21st.
July 21st. Okay,
Yep.
So we're recording on July the 8th. That gives me about 2 weeks to get these floral cosmetics.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I think you can do it. We'll play a little bit tonight. I'm gone for till the 16th. So after that, but you'll have to wrangle up some other crewmates.
I'm sure I can find somebody to sail with. So what do you think we should name the ship? That's I feel like that's going to be a cause of contention. I feel like that may drive a wedge between.
Well, I think there's
crew.
there's a growing list. The HMS GameStack.
Nice.
Or listen to GameStack.
I love it. I think we should call the ship Listen to GameStack.
Right? I don't know.
Oh, that's brilliant. All other ideas can go in the trash because that's what I'm calling my ship. Listen to GameStack.
We could also name
so
it
good.
Titanic 2 or 3, perhaps.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know.
How fun.
I'm not inventive when it comes to ship names.
Well, I think it's hilarious to call it the Listen to GameStack, so I think we should definitely do that.
Also, if you are listening to the show and you play Sea of Thieves and you've come up with a clever ship name, send us a screenshot and post it in screenshots and stories in the Discord. We'll talk about it on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Gosh, I've got no way to segue into our next thing. Elden Ring is another game that's good. Elden Ring, video game. We enjoy it. And Elden Ring has got a bit of a legendary player. He's called Let Me Solo Her. And this player has, he uses dual katanas and he wears a pot on his head and nothing else. And he has made a reputation by helping players kill one of the game's toughest bosses thousands and thousands of times. And this is an article on Kotaku by Ethan Gack. Bandai Namco, the publisher of Elden Ring, sent him a gift box that included a personal thank you note and a sword, an actual sword. So the package, it included some other little gifts and a legit sword. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. The note is really cute, and it includes a drawn picture of Let Me Solo Her with the pot on his head in his undergarments. It's really funny.
Cute.
Congratulations on your great accomplishment from the Bandai Namco team. And the sword is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. It says Rise Tarnished, and it's gorgeous. And I think that was a neat way to honor this player who is just, who has done so much for the Elden Ring community. So I love that.
It's amazing that the game has only been out for 5 months?
Yeah, I think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people just really are dedicated. Mm-hmm.
It also includes a cloak, like the one that Melina has.
I had seen that. So the recipient had posted it on Reddit, and that's where I had seen it. And
I feel like the cloak is so that he has something more than just his undergarments.
Yeah. I mean, I would wear it naked.
It's nice and breezy.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yes. So he has a little quote included in the article here. He says, I can still remember my first experience with the Soulsborne series and almost quitting because of Iudex Gundyr in Dark Souls 3. I'm glad I persisted and went on to enjoy the game because this community is one of the most passionate and dedicated people I've ever seen in a game, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I just think that's really great. It was a really neat way. I love to see a developer acknowledging the community in a way like that.
Agree.
I thought it was beautiful.
Brilliant.
Had to include that. So I've kind of thought that Elden Ring might be the game of the year this year. It's absolutely brilliant. I had a hard time envisioning anything that could maybe dethrone Elden Ring as game of the year. But then Sony Santa Monica has brought us some news. The release date for God of War Ragnarok. And I have some high hopes about this. 2018's God of War was one of my favorite games of all time. I consider that game to be an absolute masterpiece. And my anticipation for Ragnarok is a large portion of what drove me to continue to try and purchase a PS5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you can play Ragnarok on PS4, but my PS4 doesn't start anymore. So I won't be playing it on there. But I was fortunately able to get a PS5 so I can enjoy what I hope will be another masterpiece, the follow-up to 2018's God of War. And I'm stoked. The release date, by the way, I buried the lead. The release date is November 9th. of this year, 2022.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, I'm very, very excited about it.
Just around
And
Thanksgiving, so you'll have like the long weekend to.
American Thanksgiving is a couple weeks later. So
Mm.
yeah, but that's fine. Um, they had assured players that God of War Ragnarok would be out this year, but people were doubtful. And I really think they're going to make good on this date. I don't think we're going to get another delay. They released a short new CG trailer that shows Kratos and Atreus. And at the end, you seem to see the wolf Fenrir, which is, of course, one of the harbingers of Ragnarok in Norse mythology. And I'm just so excited for this
I mean,
game.
the graphics are unreal. It's so
I'm
good.
really looking forward to this.
It's
really looking forward
really
to this.
quite good. You should stream some of that. I would like to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could buy the PC version of the first one.
Well,
and stream that.
I suppose.
I don't have the ability to stream PS5. I don't believe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah. But anyway, if you haven't played the first, well, I say the first God of War, but the 2018 God of War, I definitely highly recommend that you check that out in anticipation of this game. It was so good, so good. And there will be 4 different editions of God of War Ragnarok. Pre-orders will begin on July 15th, starting at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. There will be some special editions. Any edition will get you some snow gear for Kratos and Atreus to wear. And including the 4 different editions of the game, there will be the Digital Deluxe, of course, the standard, the Collector's Edition, and the Jotnar Edition. I'm sure I've mispronounced that. The later 3 all include the PS4 and PS5 version of the game. If you buy the PS4 Standard Edition, you will pay a $10 upgrade to get the PS5 version. And the prices for the other editions has not been announced, but the Jotnar Edition is probably going to be expensive. It includes a vinyl record, a pin set, a cloth map, and a 16-inch Mjolnir replica, which I'm super
You're totally
into.
going to get like 3 of them.
I mean, I'm probably not going to get that because I am not made of money just now, but I will want it. Of course, I will think about it.
Right,
and
right.
Yes.
Maybe Santa will be good to you this year.
But I just, it looks so rad. It's so cool. I got when the first one, I keep calling it the first one, but when the predecessor to this game came out, I got the God of War loot crate. And I still use a bunch of the stuff that was in there. I have the keychain and the hoodie. I wear the hoodie all the time. And I just, I am so into this game. And I have really high hopes for Ragnarok.
Nice.
So very, very excited.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think it's...
One thing that does annoy me about the special editions is that the Jotnar edition does not come with a disc. It comes with a steel book, but it comes with a digital edition of the game. So that's so stupid. I mean, why would they include a steel book but not a disc? It's real dumb.
Maybe they just want people to have that feeling of a physical copy.
Then include a physical copy.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Silly.
You're not wrong, but... Or
at least include the option for... Well, why? Why would you include a steel book and only a digital copy? I guess there is a bunch of PS5s don't have the disc drive. So that may be part of the motivation, because there is that all digital version of the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it seems dumb. Joseph Tao is in chat. He says, yeah, they did that with the Horizon Forbidden West launches as well. Not a fan. I am a sucker for a good Steelbook edition. That's something we've talked about. I've spent lots of money on fancy Steelbook cases for my video games because I'm a sucker. And I would be so mad to have a Steelbook with no disc to put in it. My OCD tendencies would just flare up and I wouldn't sleep ever again. It would just, ugh. But anyway, God of War Ragnarok. Looks great. Can't wait. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks good. The graphics are really nice.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I really recommend that you grab a copy of the 2018 game. It was so good.
Yeah, I'll put it on my wish list.
Absolute masterpiece. Absolute. Maybe I'll just buy it for you. Send it to you.
No, I already have a
Then you'll have
backlog.
no excuse. Yes. Well, you know what we won't be playing in the future? Xbox 360 titles as part of Xbox Games with Gold.
Oh.
Yeah, I every month when we talk about the quote unquote free games of the month, we go through two Xbox One games and two Xbox 360 games for each month, but they won't be doing those Xbox 360 titles anymore. I actually got an email about this. I'm guessing that all Xbox Gold subscribers got the same email. Uh, they basically stated that they will no longer be releasing these titles on a monthly basis as a benefit. They're going to focus on continuing to deliver Xbox One titles, and no other benefits will be impacted by this change. They stated that they have reached the limit of their ability to bring new games to the catalog from the past due to licensing and technical constraints. Basically, they've given us all the games and they can't give us any more games. And I'm not surprised to see this. It's been a while since the Xbox 360 was around. I think they kept this going a lot longer than they necessarily needed to. I'm not mad about it. I've enjoyed some of the Xbox 360 titles. I still play backwards compatible games now and again, but I don't feel like this is much of a blow to the value of Xbox Live Gold.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, as a Xbox non-Xbox player, it doesn't faze me.
yeah, it'll make our show just about 30 seconds shorter when it's time to go over those.
I mean, that's probably a good thing.
It is.
Yeah.
So speaking of playing older games from the 360 era, Ubisoft is removing some of our ability to do this. They will be pulling the online component from many older games, but this is also removing DLC access, which I have a major problem with.
Oh.
I understand that they can't keep multiplayer servers up forever, but I have a huge problem with the fact that DLC that we've purchased is no longer going to be accessible.
Yeah.
These games include Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies, and Splinter Cell Blacklist. Now, these games will be decommissioned to the online component on September the 1st. And Assassin's Creed 3, you will be losing access to DLC, not just the multiplayer, but all your DLC. And the DLC was really my favorite part of that game. I loved the DLC for Assassin's Creed 3, and I think it's really a shame that won't be accessible anymore.
Like, is that even legal?
I'm sure it is. The thing with digital ownership is that it's not really ownership in most cases. You buy a license to access the content in most cases with digital ownership. You buy the right to access it, and apparently that is a revocable right.
But when you make a purchase,
mm-hmm.
Where are those details in the purchase?
In the terms of service that you didn't read when you started.
But I don't ever get terms of service when I buy a game on Steam.
No, the terms of service came from the first time you accessed the store.
Oh, that's so...
Yeah, Joseph Tao says there aren't explicit laws stopping this in most, if not all, countries. So if there's
It's
not an
almost as
explicit
if
law
this was
stopping it,
designed by politicians.
uh, um, so it's a real shame that this DLC is going away. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood had some great DLC. Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, I've played that fairly recently, and the DLC for that was great. I'm really sad about this.
That's
I
so
don't like
sneaky.
it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm very angry, Ubisoft. How dare you? And Space Junkies is a multiplayer only title, so it will be completely inaccessible going forward. That game was a 2019 game, so it's not even that old.
What?
I feel like it should have had a longer lifespan.
What is
than
happening that's causing them to have to do this, though?
I'm sure it's just about saving cost. I don't think they have to do this.
Well,
I think they're choosing to do this.
running servers is extremely expensive.
It is, and I genuinely do understand the motivation behind shutting down multiplayer servers on games that aren't being played, but I do not understand disabling our ability to access DLC that we've paid for.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dastardly. They're out there. Somebody at Ubisoft is twirling their mustache.
Well, maybe instead of trying to trim servers, they could just lay off a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's what GameStop did recently.
Really?
That's exactly what GameStop did. According to this GamesIndustry.biz article by Brendan Sinclair, GameStop laid off a ton of staff today. Axios' Stephen Totillo reported that GameStop made cuts across the company, including at the Game Informer press outlet. And GameStop CFO Mike Recuerpo is also gone from the company. So a company memo was the source that Totillo used for this, and Kotaku's Ethan Gack corroborated the news with a quote from an email that was sent to GameStop staff to address the layoffs. This means eliminating excess costs and operating with an intense owner's mentality, the staff were told. Everyone in the organization must become even more hands-on and embrace a heightened level of accountability for results. GameStop has not officially confirmed the layoffs, but GameStop and Game Informer employees have confirmed their own layoffs. So yeah, that's it's always a shame when people lose their jobs. My heart goes out to these people who woke up to find out that they no longer had their jobs.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's an awful thing. So what do you think?
I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about this a little bit later on, but I feel like this has something to do with the stock split as well. So if you haven't heard, Shalene, maybe I'll just jump into that story now.
I'm not knowledgeable about this, so
I'll just
tell me about it.
I'll just jump into that story now. So earlier this week, I think it was yesterday or the day before, GameStop announced that their shares nearly rose by about 10% on Thursday after they announced a 4-for-1 stock split in an attempt to revive any sort of retail interest that has waned amid mass market sell-off.
So can you tell me what a stock split is?
So basically, a stock split is what happens is for every, well, in this case, it's a 4-for-1 stock split. So basically, people who already have stocks in GameStop will be able to sell there's, how does it work? I can't remember now.
Usually
I
do
can't
the
remember.
Thing where I ask a hypothetical question for the listener on behalf of the listener.
So
doesn't know,
right.
But I don't know.
The point of the stock,
so
this point of the
I
stock
can't tell.
split, right, is to increase the number of outstanding shares. So a single share of a stock will represent a smaller portion of the overall company than it did previously. So each share after the split will have a lower market value.
If I owned one stock in GameStop at the time they did the split, I would now own 4 stocks.
Yes. At
And would those
a
stocks be
lower,
worth less money?
yeah, well, it would be at a lower market value.
So I have right now a single GameStop stock, hypothetically. It is worth $20, hypothetically. So after the split, I own 4 stocks that are worth $5 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the stock, which actually it was up at about $127.70, was the most actively traded retail trading platform for the day. But the split actually comes at a time when GameStop shares have slumped by about 20% this year.
Right.
And mirroring that which we had seen in the fall in the other years, because for like pandemic stocks, out of fear of recession and things like that. But obviously the stock split is a driver to their increase in stock price. And I think a lot of professionals and investment advisors are now wondering whether or not this is really a good thing. It's hard to make a lot of predictions because the stock doesn't necessarily trade as much on the fundamentals as the rest of the market does. But retail investors have really gravitated towards ETFs and large cap technology stocks in hopes of getting double-digit returns. And retail investors have already lost a considerable amount of money, and they can't really afford to lose any more with these occasional bets. So shares of companies that often rise after stock split announcements, as it lowers the per share price, boosts liquidity, making it more accessible for individual investors. So GameStop will join Amazon and Google parent Alphabet in splitting its stock this year. So we can also expect Amazon and Google to split stocks as well. So keep an eye out for that. But they first announced this in March of earlier this year. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they're clearly trying to grow company value, and they're seeing they're seeing the hardship of the decrease in the stock market. But I think that it's time to batten down the hatches, right? The Royal Bank of Canada has predicted that 2023 will bring the next major recession. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see other companies like this splitting stocks.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the GameStop stock story that I wanted to sort of tack on to that.
Thank you for that additional context. That's it makes the situation make a little bit more sense, even though it's still devastating for the people who have lost their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? No unions. There's no unions. So, and I mean, even if there was unions, people get laid off all the time, but that's just part of the industry too, right? So, like Bethesda could have a bad year and end up having to lay off like hundreds of employees, maybe thousands. How many employees do they have?
I have no idea.
So, that's just the way it goes. And GameStop has been trying to survive since before the pandemic. They are the Blockbuster of video games. And, I think it's smart that the company wants to move into more of a gift retail industry. And, if you've walked into any GameStop, it's not games that you buy anymore. It's memorabilia and paraphernalia, right?
I haven't been in a GameStop in probably a decade.
Oh, really?
Being honest, yeah.
GameStops are so fun.
I haven't been in one in ages, absolute ages. So
next
of
time
course, it's I live in the middle of nowhere.
Next time
so.
you make it out to Phoenix, you should make a point of going to a GameStop.
Yeah.
Even if there is a GameStop there.
Well, when I go to GameStop, I'll probably look for a copy of Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones has also had a release date announced, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I just seen the trailer for that yesterday, actually.
Indeed. this VG247 article by Dom Pepiet talks about Skull and Bones. The tagline is "Long live pirates," and this game has been in development hell for a long time. It was initially planned to launch in 2018, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but this, of course, is a bit of a. It's the child of the Assassin's Creed sailing bit from Assassin's Creed Black Flag and also Rogue that was continued to develop and became Skull and Bones, which is this new pirate game, open world, and they are very, very hopeful that this is going to be the best open world pirate experience out there. I feel like that's a very bold claim when Sea of Thieves is as good as it is.
Well, the earlier gameplay footage that they released last month, maybe the month before, revealed that it was nothing like I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a Sid Meier's Pirates kind of feel, where you have these crews on your ship and you can toggle to different crews to do certain things. And you steer your ship around the sea and you fight other ships and you sink them and you get the loot, and that's kind of what it is. This trailer itself suggests different elements. This latest trailer that they've released, it includes things like going ashore and exploring ports and things like that. So I wonder if, and there's character creator as well. You can pick your outfits. So how freely open is the world? That's my question. My guess is that it's not actually really all that open. There's probably a set map and a set number of ports that you can visit. But I can't imagine that you'd be able to just jump off your ship into the ocean or pull up to an island and weigh anchor and go explore the island. I'm not sure that's the case.
I feel like you should be able to do those things. I would be shocked if you couldn't.
It doesn't seem apparent.
Because those Assassin's Creed games have the ability to do that. You could just jump off your ship wherever you were, or land.
See, like right here. I don't know if you've seen that. Let me just back up here for a sec. So,
there's a hippo.
For our audio listeners, we're watching the trailer just in silence on the B-roll, but right here is a perfect example. So the ship is next to the island, and they're chopping down a tree, but you're chopping it down.
You're not actually on shore.
You're on the ship chopping down the tree. So, I'm curious. Oops, did not mean to engage the audio there, but. That there are hippos, so there's that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the hippos. Okay, we're throwing a sharpened stick at a crocodile. That's...
Yeah, so it looks to me like you just roll up to the island and then you select a tree and...
yeah, that's a little funny that you're harvesting resources from the ship.
Yeah, and I suspect when you go ashore to visit some of the vendors, you engage in some sort of cinematic where when you walk up to a stall, it just sort of engages in some sort of UI cinematic thing. Kind of like in Red Dead Redemption, when you go to the barber.
Yes.
And there's this fancy thing where you hop into the chair and yeah.
I don't know, it looks kind of good. I hadn't seen the trailer up until now, and I'm more interested in it now than I was before. And I really dislike the sailing in Assassin's Creed games. I think it's the weakest part of Assassin's Creed games. But this actually looks good, and it's I don't know why.
Well,
but I'm for it.
The thing, I don't know. If you ask me, it's War Thunder meets Sea of Thieves. It's the War Thunder of the ocean. You're sailing around on boats. You got to shoot other ships, and get their loot. So I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm definitely not going to pre-order it, and I'm going to watch somebody stream and play it before I make a decision.
Joseph Tao mentions that it's set in the Indian Ocean, and that is a really neat change. Most pirate games focus on the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be elements of, like, say, the East India Trading Company or historical references to things like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it does look kind of cool. Like, there's different kinds of build outs for the ship, right? Like, you can have an armored ship, or you can have like a gunner ship or a merchant ship where you carry a bunch of cargo and stuff. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I loved Sid Meier's Pirates, but, you know, I really thought Skull and Bones was going to be Sea of Thieves, but just less cartoony.
I was not hopeful for Skull and Bones. After spending so long in development hell,
But there's hats. Look at the hats, Shalene.
The hats are magnificent, I must say. I'm a big fan of the costuming that I'm seeing in this trailer. The sail decor, the ship customization, the player customization is all very appealing to me.
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in this than I was before the show.
Yeah.
Much more interested.
There also appears to be different ship sizes. So there's like little tailing boats and sloops, and then mid-sized ships, and then the larger galleons as well, which is cool. So you'll have a
One
different...
of those ships looked like a man of war, like a Portuguese man of war.
Yeah. I do like the different islands that you can visit and backdrops. It looks very pretty. They've done a lot of work in terms of art. Yeah. But you know, maybe it's a good thing that they delayed the game. You know?
I think so. I think the time was well spent. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. This looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that night sky. That's a good night sky.
Oh, there's fireworks. There we go.
Sold.
Definitely stole that from Sea of Thieves, but here we are.
Is this single player or is this multiplayer?
It is multiplayer.
Though you can enjoy the game fully solo, the developer envisages it as a social game at its core. Okay. So
that's the other thing that I'm not particularly sold on. This is predominantly going to be PvP. I actually haven't really seen any PvE elements in the game itself. So that's the other thing.
I feel like these games, by these games I mean Skull and Bones and Sea of Thieves, are very, very different, and I'm not sure that they are going to be competitors at all, just because they have the same topic in terms of piracy. I feel like they're aiming at different audiences and a very different goal.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like to me. So intriguing. I feel like there's room for both games in the world.
Well,
that's it. That's the news.
Oh, okay. Well, on with the rest of the show. We've got some stocks. Sony closed out at $82.58, down 90 cents from our previous post on episode 121. Microsoft down $8.08, trading at $267.66 this week. Nintendo $53.50, down 30 cents. Take-Two $12.93, down 7 cents. Activision down 44 cents, closing out at $78.13. And just a slight correction, Take-Two closed up 7 cents, not down 7 cents. Ubisoft closed at $41.94, down 39 cents. EA at $125.63, up $2.90 and 10 cents, closing things off at $44.64, down 64 cents. And that is the stocks. We had already talked about that wonderful article on GameStop. But we also have a streamer spotlight.
Ooh.
Yes. We didn't have a streamer spotlight on the last episode of GameStack podcast because we had Stephen Wesley Giles. So if you're interested in checking out that episode, head on over to twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. But
or YouTube or audio, because I posted them.
Yes, absolutely. And Yeah, this week's streamer spotlight goes by the user goes by the name of Lady DeWinter, and Lady DeWinter is this lovely streamer. She is a mature. Let me see if I can get her. There we go. She's a mature streamer, Twitch streamer on Twitch who plays a lot of first person shooters and things like that. She's totally lovely. You should go and check out her stream if you haven't done so already. But I found her through another stream that I was watching that we've actually also spotlighted, Wade Star 53 or 55, sorry. And Lady DeWinter is she keeps sort of a sporadic schedule, but if you go to her page, you'll see that she says she loves to play games. She's a 63-year-old retired lady with lots of time on her hands, so she plays games on YouTube and Twitch for entertainment. And her computer specs are there. She also has a Discord if you're interested in joining it. But she does play a variety of games, including right now she's hooked on Generation Zero, but she also plays a lot of other games as well. So be sure to check out her page and go shoot her follow and send her some GameStack love.
She's doing really well at this multiplayer match.
Yeah, she's quite good. And so that's the streamer spotlight, but we also have what the community is playing.
I'm so excited. I love
I totally cut you off there.
I love
Sorry.
this part.
Let me just open these up here. Okay, so I'm going to have to back up through our screenshots and stories here in the Discord so I can find what everybody wrote with their pictures, because I don't even... Okay, here's the first one. So this first one's from Vexinator, and he says, got to the first expansion of Final Fantasy XIV on a new character, decided to go back and have a staring contest with an old friend. And Shalene, would you mind just describing this wonderful photo for us?
Okay, so there is a bunny man with a big staff on his back. I assume that is Vexinator. And he is talking to a blonde in a blue hat and a little capelet. It's a pretty good outfit. But I am a big fan of the bunny man. He looks great. Love him.
Yeah, looks awesome. This next one comes to us from Alexandra, or Alex. And she says, so Zephyr and I started playing SWTOR. What is that?
SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic.
Thank you. He has played before, but I'm new, and I'm definitely hooked. Here he is dancing with a hologram.
Lovely. Yeah, so this is just, it's a slightly pulled back shot of some BioWare style Star Wars characters, because this is a BioWare game. That's it.
And this next one, also from Zephyr, says Alex is nothing but floating swords, and it's a picture of floating swords, and then her in-game name floating above the sword.
What an amazing bug! Just the swords.
Yeah. Next one, we have a couple from Satyr, who says the Reclaimer in Star Citizen is great, if for no other reason than it has the most functional headlights in the game. Also, as a PSA, people really need to do a better job securing their loads. So he's got this picture of a ship, and then I think that there's some crashed stuff.
Yeah, the stuff fell out,
and it's just everywhere.
In the light of his headlights because it's nighttime.
Here's a great shot of him standing in front of, or them standing in front of their ship with the light shining, and there's kind of a silhouette. There's snowflakes falling down.
It's a good screenshot.
Yeah.
That's great snow.
And then this one is really great. They're in I don't know, they didn't secure their load, so clearly it crushed somebody under there's a big
it's
container.
like a shipping crate.
Very good. We've got this one from Taz, who says Mars Rover 1, armed rover going to scout out hostile bases on space engineers.
Okay, I'm concerned about the fact that the Mars rover needs to have a gun on it. What did we find on Mars?
Right. And then he also shared this one, heading back to base with a sunset over Trumbull Valley in State of Decay 2. And he's in looks like a Chevy.
An extended cab pickup truck.
Yeah. And then he also shared another one with us. This is from Farm Sim 19.
Ooh, look at that load of hay.
He's running
That's
a
great.
load of straw back to the farm, Westbridge Hills map. So if you're interested in checking that out. But he's got this massive haul of square bales. Actually, they're not even square bales. They're like rectangle barrels.
Yeah,
bales,
I mean that bales are usually rectangular.
yeah, I suppose.
Not square.
And this one's from me. This is a
Look at
picture.
these little guys. They're cute.
This is a picture from Deep Rock Galactic, and Jess and I had done a mission, and we both died. So then we got rezzed, and we finished out the mission, but when we were rezzed, we were in hospital gowns.
Oh, that is incredible.
So when we finished out the mission, when we left, this was our victory walk out of the ship with our hospital gowns on.
I love it. I love it.
And this one here is from Taz, Scenic View of the Mountains in Trumbull Valley, State of Decay. He's got his backpack on, and he's looking like he's ready to traverse some mountains. And this one from Moxie86. I've got a few more in my pocket. Moxie86 says they released the original Pokemon Snap on the Switch, and I had to download it and relive my childhood just a little bit.
Fun.
So, first we start. They gave us a picture of the Pokemon Snap starting screen, and then this one, which is some train tracks, and then there's a
Pokemon of some
Pidgey.
kind.
Is it Pidgey?
Yeah, is that those are Pidgeys.
Pidgey.
So this game is literally on rails.
On rails. Yeah. This one comes from RTZ13. I'm not a big JRPG guy, but I decided to try Ni no Kuni as it has actual Studio Ghibli involvement. It shows and
Look
fully
at this
orchestrated
animation.
soundtrack. Yeah.
That is so great. He's in this amazing little car.
Mm-hmm.
This is fabulous. This is so cool looking.
Yeah. And then there's this one of the town square. And then he also shares this wonderful one of a map, and it's sort of like a cascading landscape, and he's walking along a trail.
Just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And then finally this.
Ooh.
I've got a couple more. This one going up to
so
some
intrigued.
gates. Are you gonna play it?
I don't know. What kind of game is it?
And then this one.
He mentioned
through a forest.
JRPG, so I guess it's a JRPG.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Have I got more in my pocket? Oh, this one.
Oh, yes.
This is from Vexinator. This is an IRL fishing simulator.
The graphics are amazing.
Amazing. Vexinator had
for
posted.
audio folks, this is an actual photo. He caught a fish. He went fishing, caught a fish.
It's adorable. It's an adorable little fish, I might add. It's very, very cute. That is our screenshots and stories. That was quite a backlog, hey?
That was so enjoyable. I love that segment.
We have even more, so stay tuned for next week's episode because we've got 6 or 7 new screenshots already in the queue for our next show. And I said next week, but I mean the following week. Yeah. Anyways, on to what we're playing, Shalene.
Lovely.
What have you been up to?
Well, I'm addicted to Tetroid 3.
Oh my god, me too.
Yes! Mr. G introduced us to this game last week.
Son of a gun.
I am so addicted to it. I'm playing it on every platform. I was playing it on the show last week on the browser. You can play it on mobile. So I've got a game going on my phone. I've got one going on my iPad. I'm addicted to this game. It's really fun. So visit coolmathgames.com if you would like to play Tetroid 3. I feel like we should start a GameStack Tetroid leaderboard, kind of like we used to do the pit board in Fallout show, and just see how high we can get our scores.
Well, I'm pretty ashamed. My highest score is like 2100.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But I figured out what you have to do. You've got to Glenn Ross your way through it.
I don't know what you mean.
You have to always be closing. You have to always be eliminating a line. With every new set of blocks, you've got to eliminate at least one line, Shalene. It's the
Oh
only
my
way you're going to make it out
goodness.
alive. And don't even try to put the blocks neatly together in some sort of fashion because you're just going to screw yourself over.
I love putting them neatly together, though. It makes my brain feel good when I put them neatly together.
It's some scratching in there.
I think my high score was something like 3,600, something like that.
Okay.
We are nowhere near Mr. G's 19,000
Is it 19? I thought it
challenge.
was 11.
That was his current score. That was his current game in progress. The record was 19 something.
How are these people so good? I mean,
I don't know, man.
And then I was like thinking maybe there's like some math behind it. You know? I mean, there is a little bit of math.
It is a cool math game. I don't know. I don't think there's any math to it. I think it's just
there's logic to it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll need to place a piece.
It's also partially luck as well. There is of course a skill element, but it also depends on what pieces you draw. So
19,000.
It's fun. I'm having a good time.
If you guys don't recall, 19,000 was the world record, and he held it for a short time before he was beat out by one of his 6th grade students.
That was a brilliant story. Absolutely brilliant. Loved
yeah.
So, of course, I've also been playing some Fallout 76, as always. I've been working on doing the homework with Archon.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been as diligent as I should have. You know, I don't show up every day to do the homework, but I try and get in a couple of evenings a week at least. The Mothman Equinox event is still going on. I'm enjoying that. I really like the Mothman event. I enjoy fighting all the cultists and getting the outfits. And I got the last outfit that I needed to finish off having gotten everything from the Mothman events.
Nice.
Been working on my checklist progression. There are these cultist priests as part of the event, and there are 6 of them, and they each have a radium rifle. So Archon and I try and focus on killing those cultist priests so that I can scrap the radium rifles to learn mods. So I've learned several radium rifle mods, and it's been a good time.
Nice.
And last night I logged on, and I noticed that I joined Archon's public team, and I noticed they were in a daily op. So I'm like, hey, I'll join the daily op. So I hop into the daily op. And as soon as I hopped into the daily op, I loaded in, and instantly it was over and I got the rewards.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was perfect timing. It was really funny. So easiest daily op I ever did. And I didn't actually see Archon at this point in the daily op because he was over here with fighting the end boss with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And I just loaded into the starting area. And so I loaded out. I was at my camp, and I was just kind of piddling around in my camp. I just, fixing my armor and selling stuff to the vendor and that kind of thing. And then I turn around. Archon's like, hey, yeah, I brought you some stuff, some radium rifles and some armor and stuff to scrap. I'm like, oh, thanks. And I go back to my little camp, and standing in the doorway of my camp is Archon.
Oh, no.
And he's got the Wendigo glitch. I think you should remember this one. It's one of my favorites, where he has the long, spindly arms and legs, but it was made infinitely better by the fact that he was wearing a plague doctor mask, so he looked like some kind of nightmare Big Bird. I think I sent you the screenshot.
You did, and I'm just queuing it up here.
It was magnificent. Look at that. Look at those silly arms.
Oh, right. Let me just zoom out here.
Oh my gosh, that's so brilliant. It's the best.
It looks like he's wearing rubber boots.
And he was walking around, and it stayed this way for like an hour. So I was just chortling in the background. And he was doing some emotes and stuff, and his arm was like doing this little bird wing thing. It was incredible. It was so funny. I love that glitch. It's my favorite. So yeah. Fallout, still enjoying that. And I also did some IRL gaming. I went to Dave and Buster's with my niece and nephew last
Oh,
weekend, and we played a bunch of
that's
arcade
fun.
games. It was a great time. I love those kids. Yeah, they had like a life-size Hungry Hippos. That was
Oh,
really fun. It was very silly.
oh my.
Yeah, and there were a bunch of light gun games, and uh, I had a few merciless games of air hockey in which I destroyed these children because I'm not going to let them win because they're children. It was nice. What have you been doing?
Well, also addicted to Tetroid as we talked about already. I didn't play much actually in the last week because I've been house sitting, right? So as you know, since from the previous Tuesday, I was house sitting until Monday of this week. And so I did play some Satisfactory with Jess. We've been working on our oil refinery, which, as I said, is crazy. It's smoke and oil refineries as far as the eye can see. We ran into an electrical problem, which was a nightmare to troubleshoot because there are now thousands of power outlets to check and thousands of feet of power lines running across this grid. So we worked for hours trying to figure out where the problem was. Turns out one of the refineries was overclocked, and that's what was causing our power spike and causing the whole grid to shut down. It was accidentally she accidentally added a couple extra zeros onto the 80% overclock, and it was like millions of megawatts. And we were like, how is this even possible? This has to be a glitch, right? No, it was a typo. So, and it was my job to do the power grid. Like she was setting up the refineries, and it's quite complicated. So what happens is the oil comes out of the oil node through a pump, right? And it's transported to pipes and into refineries. And the refineries take that oil and convert it into a fuel source that can go into these things called blenders. And then the blenders make the actual fuel that goes into the fuel generators, which we have gajillions of. And so she's been working on the pipe work and setting all of those pieces of equipment up. And I've been working on getting the foundation down and getting the infrastructure in place and the power in place so that she can place those items and hook them all up. So I thought, because there was a problem with the power, I immediately assumed that it was my fault. Like I had done something wrong somewhere and I didn't notice it, and it screwed everything up. And I felt really bad, but it was actually totally her fault. And I definitely made her feel that at the end when we figured it out. So, yeah, it was good. But I'm still planning on diving into Among Trees. I haven't had a chance to do that yet either. If I finish packing, I might get to that this evening. But
I think that game looks really neat. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it.
yeah, it's literally a game that like they made it for me. Right? You're in the woods, you're a hiker, and you build your own cabin off grid. That's like it. It's like it's everything. Anyways, so that's what I've been playing.
Lovely.
Well, my friends, that is a show. Don't forget we're sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every bag goes to the Children's Miracle Network. If you like the show, don't forget to hit that like button and leave us a review and a 5-star shout out. If you have something that you want to comment on about things that we've talked about on tonight's show and you would like us to read your email out and talk about it on the show, send us an email at info@wejustlovegames. We would love to hear from you. We don't just love games, we love our audience too. Hey, that should be our slogan.
Aww.
We don't just love games, we love our listeners too.
I don't know. I feel like that could be misinterpreted.
Well, I mean, one thing, we certainly don't just like games. So You can find us on Twitter at We Just Love Games. You can find Shalene at Shalene L and myself at Vendertron N. We also have a Facebook presence, facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. Join us on the Discord. If you're listening live, scroll down right below and click on that Discord link. The chat after dark. Post your screenshots and stories and your animals and your food and your books that you're reading and the shows that you're playing and the games that you're engrossed in. We love to hear about all the things you're doing. We record the show live 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Please like, subscribe, and review the show. Thank you all for listening. And Shalene, what is your last word, my dear?
I had a thing planned and I forgot what it was. It was a cool thing. Yeah, sorry guys. It was related to something. A joke that we made in the beginning. I've got it. Frankly, my dear, I really don't give a damn.